Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, my name is Janelle. Okay, so today we're going to go over some trackers. I call them dot style habit trackers that I've created, and what I've done is I created progress for them, and I've also added a few other things. So we're just going to go over what I've created and show you how it works. So I'm going to go into the dot style habit tracker here. And the first thing you'll see is the water tracker. If you go into checkbox, as you see, you have the days of the week, and then you just check off how much water you drink. Each of these represents 16 ounces, and right in here is where you enter your goal for that day. You can enter in the date, and you get a little progress bar and a little encouragement, which you can see here in the board view. You can also see your weekly progress. So that's the water tracker. After you checked it off, you just go right back into dot view. Now, these little, I put these here. You can change them if you'd like to whatever icon or emoji, whatever they call it, because basically I know these don't render well mobily. So you could just change that to another circle or the blue water drop. You would just copy paste it right there. And you would do that for all 7 of these. Okay. The next one is the habit tracker. I call it the habit tracker by date, and it's the dot style one. In this one, you would just add new, add the date. First, you would name it, let's say it's March 10th. Let me open this. And then you would go to date, March 10th. And that's it to add. You would just go to your checkbox. And for that day, check off which habits you've completed, and you'll get your progress there. You can also have your total monthly progress right here. Okay. I have another video on this one, which shows you if you want to add more habits. It also shows you how to change the names, which is, I could show you really quickly right now. You would just change the name here and change the name here. So there's that one. And then I have these 2 other ones. And this one here, these 2 are the same that I'm going to show you next. I just have them set up differently. I also have the dots different. So as you can see in habit tracker style 1, it's these little dots, and then in habit tracker 2, it's the bigger dots. Habit tracker 3 has the smaller dots. But besides that, I have this one set up so that you are tracking your progress monthly, quarterly, and yearly. So these are 2 different databases. And then you also have this database, which gives you like an overview of how long you've been tracking your vitamins and how many days. I mean, your habits, sorry, and how many days in the progress. And that can be like 5 years if you have 5 years worth of data that you saved. Okay, so those are 3 different databases. This one, the progress one, and then the one where you actually check off your habits. So basically what you'll do is you'll have it in this view for just the way it looks. But when you go to check off your habits, you'll go to the checkbox. And you can categorize them. I'll show you. So these are the categories I have. You can put any category. You can change these categories. I have cleaning, good habits, goals. You'll enter the date range for the month. And then here is where you relate it to your progress database. So you can get the yearly, monthly, and quarterly progress. And this is the progress for the month of just this habit. So what you'll do here is you enter how many times a week you want to do each habit, and then you'll get the total for that month here. If you go beyond this total here, it'll still say 100%. It won't go over 100%. So if you decide you want to do it more, then just change the amount of times a week. And to relate it to the progress database, you just highlight, edit property, and go to relate to habits progress. And you can relate it to these and you can create new ones. So over here, these are the ones I've created so far. You have your monthly cleaning March, monthly cleaning April, good habits March, good habits April for the month, and then quarterly ones and yearly ones. So what I would recommend you do is when you get these, all the check boxes will be empty. What I would do is duplicate these so that you have the first month and the second month empty. So once you start clicking on the first month and it comes to April, you duplicate it again, and then you have another one that's empty for the next month. These are just different views. So these week views are the same habits as this month view. It's just a different way to view it. And how you do that is just go to properties and just click on whatever days. So in March, the first is on a Tuesday. So it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then for week 2, properties, you're just going to want these days turned on. If you just want a week view, that's up to you. But these are all the same habits. Like these aren't separate habits. Okay. So that's that one. It's pretty simple. And you just add a new habit, you add new. You could change the names of these. You can delete these if you want. These are also related. You see here, where that shouldn't say progress relation. It should be not progress relation, habit overview relation. Okay, so this is related to here, and here is where it tells you the first day that you tracked vacuuming, the last day you tracked it, and then how many days you actually completed it. And then you have your progress. So check days compared to how many days you wanted it checked. Okay, this is going over. I'll have to fix that. I'm trying to make it so it doesn't go over 100%. I guess for these, yeah, I'll fix that. I think I just have the relation wrong. There we go. So it doesn't go over 100%. Okay, so that is that one. And then I made one. It's the exact same habit tracker. The only difference is what I added to it. and it's more complicated, and that's why I made it like the third option, because it might not be for everyone. And basically for this third one, okay, in the second one, you can see the weekly, you can see your habits weekly because you do a weekly view. However, you can't see your progress weekly in the second one. In the third one, you can see your weekly progress. However, it's a little bit different. And why it is different is because, as you can see here, it says option 1 for weeks. I also made a bi-weekly one just in case anyone wants to try bi-weekly. And then that's option 2, and then option 3 is months. So, and the second habit tracker I just showed you, it's just by month, and then you have week views, which is one I made right here's an example. This is option 3, and then this is option 3 with the week view. So I should probably write option 3. So this view in this month, these are the same habits. But when you get into the weeks, these are different habits. Um, they're the same habits, but they are repeated. And the reason is because it's the only way I could do the week that I could think of that I could do the week progress. So I had to it's hard to explain, but because the check boxes go 1 through 31, and because I don't know every month how many days of that month are going to be in the first week, this is the way I had to do it. And I can show you what I mean when I go to all tables. So when I go to all table and I go to week 1 and I go to week 2, as you can see, these aren't the same. So basically, it's not that big of a deal, but basically what that means is that when you want to if you are doing week progress and you want to do the next, let's say you want to keep, this is all for March, and you want to keep these and then do April, you have to duplicate all of option 1. And I would recommend, if you are going to do it that way, to do that before you start checking off boxes for March. Like if you like week 1 and you want to keep the progress for March and then also do April, first thing I would do is duplicate all these. First name all these March, then duplicate all these and name all the other ones April. I hope that makes sense. If it's too complicated and I'm just not making sense here because it's kind of hard to explain, I would recommend just going with habit tracker style too. Now, if you like the dot, you prefer the smaller dots, you can simply keep this one and just delete all of option 1s and just use in all of option 2s, just use the option 3 month as you would tracker style 2. So you can still have the smaller dots if you prefer them. All you have to do is just delete option 1 and 2s. And then use this one the same way you would use that one. The only other thing you would have to do is because option 3 in the related progress, I did all these weeks, you would just delete the weeks and by weeks on here. But if you want to do the week process, I'm using this as the week process. Yeah, you just go by here and this is the week 1 view for March. And when you're ready to check off boxes, you just check them off here. You enter how many times a week. And the other reason why I separate it is so for each week you can enter in how many times a week for each week. But yeah, you could 4 times a week, 100% now. And that's what you would do. And then you would just go back to the week, and you can see that dot view. So I hope I explained that correctly. If you have any more questions, comments, you want me to explain it maybe better, just leave a comment below and I will. But yeah, so that is that. Now we are going to go into to look at the sleep tracker. Okay, so this is the sleep tracker, and basically what you'll do is you will enter what time you went to bed. Oops. So I'm going to look in I wear a smartwatch, so I'm going to see. I actually got really good sleep last night. I've been so sleepy lately. I either get zero sleep or I sleep too much. So I'm going to go into my sleep tracker thing here. And for the 9th, I went to bed at 2:56 a.m. I go to bed late most days, but this is actually not too bad for me. Okay. 2:56 a.m. And then I woke up at 10:56 a.m. It's funny. Okay. And then, okay, that says perfect 8 hours of sleep. But if that wasn't enough, I also took a nap. So I'm going to check this box that says nap. And then I'm going to go in this date range and I'm going to, what time did I take a nap? I took a nap at 4:53. I don't always take naps, but I'm having a week where I'm just extra tired. So, oops. And then we will do the end time, which was 6:48. Okay, 6:48 p.m. So my total sleep was almost 10 hours. Okay. And you get a timeline for your actual sleep over here. And then it tells you if you slept under or over here. So this is sleep tracker. Oh, sorry, I forgot this part. And you can highlight, so 2:56 to 10:56. Okay, we'll go 2 to 11 pretty much. Highlight it whatever color we want. Okay. And this is optional, this part right here. It's just something I think looks kind of cool. I've seen this style like in a lot of bullet journals, and then I've even seen a couple of people kind of do this style on Notion before, and I thought it would be neat to add to the sleep tracker. Okay. So that is the sleep tracker. I think I covered it pretty well. I'm not sure, but I think I did. Okay, next would be, I did this little rolling weekly, and if you've seen like a video I did before, I kind of talked about it. This is like a style I got from a YouTuber that does bullet journaling, and I've been using it in my bullet journal, which I don't really bullet journal anymore, but I used to. And I thought I'd kind of add it to Notion, and it's just like a weekly overview. And what you would do is do the sync thing, copy sync, and then paste on whatever page you want. And you put the month and the week, the days, and it's just like a week view. And then you add like the tasks that you like to complete that week, and then it's just like you put the circles on the days that you want to complete it. And you can even move these around, you know. As you complete them, I put the little circle things up here. You would just like copy and paste. And so I have those 2 days that I want it, and then so this one is complete. And then if you want to, you can even scratch this off. So it's like once a day you would do that. So that's just another little optional thing. And then I have the daily card selector. This might be one of my favorite things. It's maybe not for everyone, but I really like this one. So you could put this on your like main page on the side or at the top. I have mine at the top. And you just pick the weather for the day. So today was like windy. And it was more like cloudy. And then you can pick your mantra and you can pick your mood. My mood was like meh. You can do photos, you can do mood boards. You can really anything you could possibly think of, like a category. And what I did is I created these on Canva. So you can redo them, add whatever you want. I put in the first mantra thing here, I put the link to Canva. You can even in each one put several different styles for certain categories that you create. I also put this in here so you can copy paste some positive things to say in your Canva. And that's how you would do that. Go to this. This just shows all the stuff I've added. But like as I said, you can add more, keep this, change it, customize it, anything you could possibly think of. And it would be kind of cool to see what other people come up with. And then what I have here is just a page where it's just kind of showing how it's all put together. And then I also have this little widget thing here, which is a daily little widget where it tells you good evening or good morning or good afternoon, depending on the time of the day. Today's Wednesday, so 43% through the week. You have it here where it tells you the day and time, what I'm grateful for, a little happiness thing. And then this, when you connect it to, watch, I'll show you. Okay, I already have it connected to the 9th. So to the sleep tracker, you relate it to the sleep tracker, and then it will say your name, you slept from whatever time. If you took a nap, it'll say you also took how long of a nap, which means you slept over for a total of 9 hours and 55 minutes sleep today. So that's kind of neat. And then this little happiness thing, you put in your mood, you put in your productivity, and then it gives you a little happiness thing. Okay. It's just a cute little widget thing. I don't know, I just liked it and threw it on there. I do think though you may have to like refresh this to get the current time. Like maybe click on it. Or when you first open it, it'll be refreshed. But if it's like, I don't think it'll just do it right on the card, so you might have to open it. I put the trackers here. I did the weekly ones that does the week progress right here. And over here you can see your progress for week, month, quarterly, year. The water tracker thing here. We will do, this is the sleep tracker. So that's just how it looks. So you can get like an overview. Although this one right here is wrong. It's the old hour slept. So we have that. Tells you how many hours you slept. what you would do is just go to insert data when you want to insert your data and go to the current week that you're on. I added in the rolling weekly on this page if you want to use it, and the planner dashboard bullet journal key style agenda in a to-do list in the bulletin. So I also have this whole planner dashboard which has all of this that's free on Gumroad. But I put this all together. I hope you guys like it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. So please let me know in the comments below if there's, like I said, any other suggestions or questions or anything you'd like me to elaborate on further, any topics on any of the topics that were discussed today. And as always, like, subscribe, and have a great day. Thanks.